Hello and welcome to my creative space. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Welcome to another DIY video. If you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe and join this creative squad. In today's DIY video, I have Kirkland's inspired decor, so let's get started. For this project, I'm using this lumber that I picked up from Lowe's. It was only $2.47 and it was 8 feet long. I'm also going to be using these wooden dowels that my mom donated them to me. And I will leave the information on that in the lumber in the description box, and these canvas and signs from Dollar Tree. Okay, now I am trying to figure out how long I need to cut the dowels, and so I'm going to be using that sign to create some boxes you'll see later. So I was trying to figure out, and I ended up deciding I was going to be cutting them 11 inches long. So I'm tracing all my dowels, then I'll take them outside and cut them. Once all of them are cut, I'm going to be staining them. The stain information will be in my description box. And the lumber pieces, I cut them 2.5 feet long, and the wooden dowels 11 inches. Okay, I'm staining them. Once they are dried, I'm taking my lumber pieces and I'm going to mark 1 inch up and for both ends. That way I can put my first dowel there. Now I'm taking my measuring tape and measuring how long these are so I can divide that in 4 and be able to have my wooden dowels even, and so everything's even. And now I'm taking my ruler, marking where each dowel is going to go, and I mark one of the lumber pieces and then I just use that to mark the other one. Now I am going to take my drill and I'm going to start drilling the holes exactly where I marked. And next, I am taking my ruler and I'm marking 1/2 inch on each of these wooden dowels, at the end of these wooden dowels. In my head, it was going to help me when I go to place them in the holes that I created, but it didn't really matter. So I am putting the wooden dowels, I'm adding some hot glue and adding the wooden dowels. That way everything is secure. So when I hang it, everything is into place. As you can see, now I'm going to add the other side, and I added glue to all of them. And then I'm just gonna push it down, make sure everything is secure. And this is what I got so far. Now for the boxes, I'm using this Dollar Tree sign and some canvas as you saw earlier when I showed you. I'm going to be creating the back, which is the longer, wider side, and then I'll trace, on that same sign the front piece, which is going to be shorter. And I'm going to be using this canvas to create the two sides. As you can see, I cut another box out of the canvas I was trying to show you here. And this piece that I'm grabbing was left over from that one canvas. So now all I'm gonna do is I'm marking exactly where I need to cut. So I create that line and create the sides of this box. As you can see, that was exactly what I was trying to do. So I have both of my pieces, or I guess all 4 pieces. Now I'm going to take some hot glue and glue my first piece, and I'm using popsicle sticks to reinforce on the inside. So I'm going to be gluing the popsicle sticks against the sides, that way there is support. Now I'm going in with my front side and I'm adding some hot glue. I also added some popsicle sticks. I just cut one in half and then I just glue that in, and here we have it. Now for the bottom, I'm going to be using this cardboard that I picked up from Dollar Tree. It was $1 and I just keep it for crafts. And I trace it with a pencil, then I go in with some scissors, cut all that off. And once I have that, I'm gonna be adding some hot glue and gluing that piece at the bottom. And here I am just going in, and once everything is secure, here is what it looks like. Yay! Okay, now I'm going to use my acrylic white paint and I'm going to paint this box, all the outside and inside, because I want this to be an even color. And here it is, all dried. Now I had this little chain that came from Dollar Tree, from I don't even know what I used, but I had it already. And as you can see, they're like little hooks once you take them apart, and I'm using that to be able to hang my boxes. They're not very heavy because they're made out of Dollar Tree signs and canvas. So I added some hot glue and glued those down. Now for extra security, I added these pieces of canvas sheets. I don't know if that's what they're called. And once that is done, that completes my box. I could have gone around the edges with some black paint and make them look more like the Kirkland's boxes, but I honestly forgot. Now all that's left is to put this together, and here is the end result. As you can see, I only end up making 2 boxes, but feel free to make all 3, and I love how that turned out. For this project, I'm using some scraps of wood. These ones are paint stirrers that I used in a past project. This piece was donated to me from my brother. I'm using some white paint and some stain, and also something to hang this sign with. Okay, I'm going to start with my bigger piece, and I'm going to cover this with some acrylic white paint. And even though I sand it down, you can still see the cracks. It's okay, but I wish it was smooth. It kind of bothered me, but it ends up looking really, really good. Now I'm gonna move on to staining these paint stirrers, and the Kirkland sign is gray. I didn't notice that until I was done, but you know, it ends up looking good, but just know that they were supposed to be gray. Okay, so now I'm going to take both of these and put one on each side. I wanted to mention that the Kirkland sign has them sticking out a little bit on both sides. These ones were already cut. That's why I wasn't able to do that, but I thought I would mention it. Okay, next step, once they are glued down, I am going to be adding these words that I cut with my Cricut machine using some vinyl, and I don't want to put you through having you watch me do all of this, so I'm kind of going fast forward, but you know, I'm just using my little spatula looking thing to stick the vinyl down. And now the last step is creating holes on the ends, on the top corners to hang this sign, and I just created one knot. I switched to this skinnier rope because the other one was too thick and I didn't really like it, and plus the sign from Kirkland's has it like skinny like this one. And this completes this project, and here is the end result. Besides the color, I think it almost looks like Kirkland's. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hey there, Creative Squad. Thank you so much for watching. I just wanted to jump here and say hi. I know I haven't been uploading very often. I have a full-time job and I'm trying to figure out a schedule. I think I'm going to be doing videos once a week. I'm still trying to work that out, but I promise you I'll get it figured out soon. And yeah, don't forget to give my video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. It really does help my channel a lot. I hope you're enjoying this video, so let's continue. For this project, I'm using this wooden dowel, 2 wooden planks from Dollar Tree, as well as this tiny little lantern, and this 3D wreath. All of these items are from Dollar Tree, and some leaves. I'm going to start by grabbing my black apple barrel paint, and I'm going to remove the little candle from this little lantern. Now I'm going to cover this lantern completely in black, and I'm getting inside, making sure that everything is covered in black paint. Once that is done, I'm moving on to the wooden dowel. This is also going to be covered completely in black, and once that is done, I'm gonna take my 2 wooden planks and I'm gonna glue both of these together. The reason why is because they are so thin and I need a little bit more support, and so I decided to glue them and paint them black after that. Now I'm gonna take my 3D wreath and I'm gonna take the smallest ring. I'm going to start creating my little wreath with these little leaves. Now these come in like I just had some leaves, not leaves, I'm sorry, some flowers, and I just removed the leaves off of them, and the ones that come with 3, I just took them apart, and I picked these because they were the darker green color and that's what I wanted. So I'm just going to start gluing them around the ring and just adding them as I think I need them, and trying to cover that ring up with the leaves. Now I'm gonna continue until I complete this part. Okay, now I'm going to use my pencil and ruler to find the middle, and then using my drill, I'm going to drill a hole. Now that that is done, I'm going to start putting everything together. So I'm placing the dowel right there in that little hole, and I'm going to be adding some hot glue at the bottom and using a ruler to kind of wipe the excess. That way it's even at the bottom. And here is what it looks like. Now I'm going to take my little lantern, place the candle inside, add some glue to the the wooden dowel and place that little lantern right on top. Try not do it in the middle. And then using some little rope, I'm going to hang my little wreath and tie it to it. You can add some kind of hook to it, but I decided to use this just in case I want to switch it. And once everything is tight, I'll just cut off whatever I don't need from that little string, and that completes this project. How easy is it? I love how this turned out, and I think it turned out almost exactly the same. For this project, I'm using some paint stirrers that were already cut to this size from a past project, $3 tree frames, and some popsicle sticks, as well as these wooden dowels. These ones came from Walmart and they cost me $1 each. Okay, so I'm going to start by grabbing my black paint, and I'm going to paint the dowels and the popsicle sticks. And as you can see, I had a helper that is my daughter. She really wanted to help, and so I let her help me paint. Once everything is dried, it's time to put it together. Now, these paint stirrers, I want to say they were 10 inches long, and I'm going to glue the top and the bottom first with, again, some hot glue, and I'm going to turn it over and reinforce it with a lot more glue to make sure they're going to be secure, because they're going to be hang on the wall, and I want to make sure they're safe. Okay, now using my ruler, I am guiding myself with it to make sure these other pieces are all even. Once they are all glued down, I am going to place my picture frames, and I'm going to start taking my popsicle sticks and kind of cut them down to the size I need them. And I want to make sure that everything is even, so I kind of go back and cut them a little bit more if I feel like they need to be cut, and then I glue them to the corners because I do want to be able to, you know, replace the pictures. But here's what it looks like once the first 4 are glued down. Now I'm gluing my very last one, and as you can see, it's a very easy project. And now I'm going to add tons of glue because we want this to be safe. And once that is done, that completes this project. And here is the end result. This is another one that I think it looks just like Kirkland's, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. For this project, I'm using this scrap of wood, 3 knobs, some chalk black paint, and some white paint. And I'm also going to use some spackling and $3 tree frames. First, I'm going to take the spackling to fill in the little holes that this wooden piece had, just so everything is even. Now, I'm going to take my black chalk paint, and I'm going to paint this whole piece completely. I also take the knobs in my Dollar Tree picture frames outside, and I spray paint them black. I won't be showing that, but on the next clip, you will see them. Here are all my pieces. Now, I'm going to take my acrylic white paint, and I'm going to start distressing the frames. I'm going to be distressing the front and the side of these frames, and I'll only do one right now, and then I'll skip it. I'll do the other ones off camera. Here is that one. Okay, now I'm moving on to the knobs, and I screw the little screw in them to hold them, and I'm just going to distress it. Here is what it looks like. Now I'm going to distress the bigger piece, and I'm just going in with the white paint wherever I think it needs it, and I really love how this is looking. Now, using my pencil and my ruler, I'm marking exactly where I want my knobs to be, and I'll just create a mark. Then I'm going to take my drill, and I'll start drilling these holes into place. Now I'm going to turn over my piece, and I'll screw the little screws in there. I'll flip it over, and I'll start screwing my little knobs into place. And how cute are these? These ones are from Amazon. I used to use them for my daughter's drawer chest, but we switched to butterflies, so these are extra now. Now, to be able to hang this piece, I had these extra hangers that came from another sign that I don't even know where it came from, but I used that and just screw them. Now, I had this black ribbon. The picture from Kirkland's is just plain black, but I only had this one, but it is farmhouse themed, so I thought it would be a really good idea. So I cut it to the size I needed, and I'm just going to glue it into place. Now, I'll turn over my picture frame, and I'll glue it to the middle, and that is going to be our hanger. Now I'm just going to place the glass in there, and there you have it. I will do the other ones off camera. That completes this project, and here is the end result. I think this one also turned out just like Kirkland's, but let me know what you think. Comment down below which one is your favorite, or let me know which one you think looks more like Kirkland's. Don't forget to subscribe, join my creative squad, give my video a thumbs up, and I will see you on my next DIY. Bye!